Welcome back, everyone, and congratulations on completing the previous step. You've successfully set up your Epic Games account, installed the Epic Games launcher, and installed Unreal Engine onto your computer. Today, we're going to dive even deeper into using the Epic Games launcher, creating a brand new project, and getting familiar with the Unreal Engine editor. So let's get started. When you installed Unreal Engine onto your computer, you probably had the option of choosing to create a desktop icon. And this is basically like a shortcut to start the launcher. A desktop icon usually requires being double-clicked with your left mouse button to launch that program, as I'm going to do now. So we'll double-click. You might have heard that in the background. And that'll take a moment. Now, if you haven't done this already, you may be prompted with this sign in or sign up dialog. That's okay. If you've already made your Epic Games account, you have signed up. So what I'm going to do here, where I'm prompted for my email address, is simply type in whatever email address I used when making my Epic account in the first place. So I will type in my own. And then simply left-click Continue. Okay, there's one more step here where it says sign into your Epic Games account. You will have a password. The password is something that you generated when you created your Epic Games account in the first place. And you are to use, or meant to use, the same credentials when signing into the Epic Launcher as those that you use when signing in to the Epic Games website. They are no different. Now, your password is meant to be secret, and that's why this visibility icon has the diagonal slash running through it. If this were clicked, one would be able to see the characters that are in your password. So I could just type hello to show you that. That's not my password. I hope it's not anybody's password. But if you were typing in your password, you wouldn't want somebody looking over your shoulder and noticing what your password is. So leave this with, sort of non-disclosed. And I'm going to type in my actual password right now. And I recommend that you do the same. Once your password has been entered, simply left-click Sign In. Okay, welcome to the Epic Games Launcher. What you'll see on the left here are a few tabs, and we want to be in the Unreal Engine tab. There's also an Epic Games Store, which is a place where you can purchase games if that's what you'd like to do. But we're going to be in the Unreal Engine tab while we're creating things. Next, so again, if you're not on that tab, you're going to want to left-click it once. Next, I'm going to go ahead and left-click on the Library tab at the top of the screen, like so. And this will bring me to a different screen where at the top I can see all the different versions of Unreal Engine that I have installed on this particular computer. It's very good news that we can have multiple versions of Unreal Engine installed on the same computer, and they do not interfere with each other. And there are certain projects that I use, even older versions than 5.2.1, things that I've started, even in Unreal Engine 4, frankly, that are still under development. And it's okay. That's perfectly all right. At the time of this filming, 5.4.2, that is to say version 5.4.2, is the most current version of the engine. And I am not going to use that until later on in this series, most likely. The reason is that prior to the release of Unreal 5.4, 5.3.2 was the most current version for some time. And you're going to find the greatest degree of compatibility with certain things that you're going to use within your games, usually within one version behind the very most recent version. Because the developers of those external products that can be used in conjunction with Unreal Engine, they usually lag the official release of a brand new Unreal Engine version, and it takes them some time to catch up. So I am more confident in 5.3.2 right now in being compatible with the things that I'm going to be using inside my Unreal Engine level as we go through this course. And at some point, if I feel that there is a reason that really merits using 5.4 due to some new extraordinary feature that I'd like you to know about, we'll simply switch versions. So if you have the disk space, I would recommend installing 5.3.2 and then also whatever the most current version of 5.4 happens to be. By the time you're taking this course, it might even be up to Unreal Engine 5.5. So we'll see. Whatever the most current version is at the time that you take this course, get that installed. But I would also recommend having 5.3.2. We're going to be doing the majority of our work inside of that version. So let me give you a little bit of a tour of the library here. Up top we have my projects, and these are just some of the projects that are stored on my computer. And we also have the vault. And the vault is a location, again, on a hard drive that is connected to or built into my computer that contains a number of items that I can add to any Unreal Engine project that I'm using. A couple of comments about my vault here. Yours might seem barren and empty at the moment, but mine is many, many years deep. And what these are what are known as asset packs or individual assets. They can be obtained from third-party sources and also either for free or for purchase on the Epic Games Marketplace. And we are going to go over how to use the Epic Games Marketplace in a future video. However, one thing I can tell you right now is that you should be aware that Epic Games has a very generous program that's been going on for years, and that is the fact that the first Tuesday of every month, Epic Games has a free for the month category in the marketplace. So I would recommend making it a habit of obtaining all of the free assets that are offered every Tuesday or every first Tuesday of any given month. Also, at a certain point, you'll want to take the time to go through the permanently free collection, on the marketplace and simply get every single thing that's free. Even if you don't know what it is at the moment or what it does. I have assets in my own pack that I don't know what they do, but I feel like I'm glad that I have them because maybe one day I will know what they do and I will be glad that I own them. So get the things while you have the opportunity to get them for free. And of course, there are other premium asset packs that are for sale, and they have frequent sales and discount programs and bundles and things of that nature. So you'll want to keep yourself on the lookout for those. Today, we're not going to be using the marketplace, but I would like to make you aware of certain things that you will want to know when working here in your library. Notice that in the lower left-hand corner, there is a settings button here with a cogwheel. So let's click that and see what we've got, okay? One thing is that I want you to take note of this thing called Edit Vault Cache Location. The Vault Cache is basically a directory that exists on some hard drive. It could be an internal hard drive on your computer, but then again, it might be some external hard drive. If it's an external hard drive, I recommend something with a lot of capacity that is fast, something like a solid-state drive that is that has sufficient capacity. The Vault Cache contains downloaded versions of assets that you have obtained from the marketplace or other sources, and that you will draw from when putting them into your projects. Every now and then we have to do a little bit of maintenance of our Vault Cache in terms of locating it and maybe thinning it out or even emptying it out altogether. If you empty your Vault Cache, it does not mean that you have lost all the assets that you've obtained or paid for. It only means that they will have to be downloaded again the next time you want to use them. So let's see where my Vault Cache is located. I'll open that up, and I can see that it's on my D drive. I've made an Unreal Vault Cache directory and then a subdirectory for the Vault Cache, and then I have set it to that location. We will go over this again in the future as your Vault Cache starts to fill up. I just want you to be aware of this because it can grow to be substantially large. And sometimes as you're using Unreal, if you have your Vault Cache defaulted onto your system or C drive of your computer, you will find yourself running out of system space faster than you expect. So please do have a dedicated location, preferably a fast solid-state drive, to keep your Vault Cache. And by the way, if you can't afford that or if you don't have access to that right now, just find some location on your computer that you can use temporarily for your Vault Cache and set it up there. Okay, but don't forget where you put it because you might want to relocate it later. Okay, so I'm not going to change mine right now. I'll hit cancel. Okay, and we're going to get out of this. Excuse me, I'm moving my little meeting controls, and I'm going to get out of the settings directory. Okay, your path for Unreal Engine projects is normally going to be wherever you decide when you create a new project, okay? And I will demonstrate that to you. These all happen to be on the same hard drive. Even though I've got multiple hard drives connected on this computer, I can navigate to those separately. But these are showing my most recently accessed projects. So here's what I propose. Together, let's start a brand new project, and we'll see what happens. So together, let's go ahead and launch Unreal Engine 5.3.2, either using this button or this button, assuming that you have set 5.3.2 as your default. Okay, I'm clicking Launch, and we should see a splash screen, such as this, appear right away. Now I want you to take note of how quickly this is loading Unreal for me. This is the Unreal Project Browser. And if you haven't gotten this far yet, I would like to caution you that if it's your very first time launching any version of Unreal Engine, it is most definitely not going to load nearly as quickly as mine just did. Typically, and this is not unusual, it's not abnormal, and it is not a sign that anything is wrong. It just happens to be the case that most of the time, when you first launch Unreal Engine and you haven't launched it before, it may take several hours for it to reach this point. It will also seem on the splash screen that it might get stuck at a certain percentage of the way while loading. This is known and expected behavior. Please do not let that alarm you, but I implore you to let that happen and be patient. I would recommend actually letting it stay that way overnight, or at least for several hours, because it will take much, much longer. Usually, for most people, it will take much, much longer than you'd expect when launching this for the first time. So if you need to stop and resume this video right now because you are just launching this for the first time and you're not going to be able to follow along right away, this might be a good place to pause and we can pick up here when you have finally gotten to this point. Therefore, I'm going to conclude this video right now, and we will pick up from here shortly. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in just a little while.